Welcome. This is your host, Drakus. Today we review Obojima Tales from the Tall Grass, a new and whimsical campaign setting for 5th edition. We got this book as part of a Kickstarter campaign on a pledge of $60. We received the digital copy of the book on November and then again on March of this year, 2025. We also received on March 2025 the music of Obojima and the Alchemy Access Code. Finally, we received the Obojima book with the map and the poster on May this year, 2025. So let's take a quick look at the book. Yeah, the same page of content that we saw in the digital copy. This is a book that has more than 360 pages. The quality of the paper is very good. This feels very thick paper, and I'm gonna show that. And this book is sewed to the spine, so that's also very good. Okay. So this is the Obojima book, 360 plus pages, and this is a player handbook that you need to be able to play the D&D game. You can play the game with just the player handbook and the Obojima if you are willing to just use the monsters that show in the Obojima book, and that will actually work very well. And that's what I wanted to show. Right? So the Obojima book is 360 pages plus. The D&D Player's Handbook is 300. I would say 320 pages plus. Look how much thicker is the book of Obojima, and yes, we have at the bottom the map of Obojima. Look at this nice map. Let me put it flat. Get the Obojima back out of here. Let's put it. Try to lay it down flat here. Look at that. It's pretty good. So you have the main point of interest that you're gonna see in the book right here, and it's the size of one page, basically 4 pages together. So, pretty good quality paper too. So let's go back to the index again, and we have seen this already in the review of the digital copy, right? It talks about the world of Obojima, basically the island and the locations. We have new players options based on Obojima lore, magical items that you can find, spells and potions specifically from Obojima. They have the heroes boon system, friend and foes, the monsters that you can encounter in Obojima, and mysteries, history, and more, and the adventures. 3 adventures specifically for Obojima. So I'm currently running 2 campaigns, one with my family and the other one is solo campaign, and that's the reason I finally feel comfortable of talking about the hardcover book. It's just that I wanted to be able to have the hardcover book and some experience with the gaming before I could talk about Obojima as a product. Right now I have tried to restrain myself from reading every location, just to not to spoil what I'm gonna find in the campaign. So far, I have read Okiri Village and Matango Village, and I like what I have gotten so far. I am really happy. But let's talk about those locations a little bit. I don't want to get too much. I said, this is basically what you read to your characters, to your players, would be this section on the top. And then from the blue part and on, that's for the game master. So Try not to look at this section if you are a player. You have a wonderful picture to start with. That's inspiring, and that will get your players going, and that the players obviously can see. And then for the game master, you have a nice description of what you find in the village. And now then you get this note from the writers about Okiri, the way that they thought about Okiri village, and you get a series of NPCs that you can use, and then point of interest and adventure hooks. And this is the format that they have it for every location. The other thing that, and this section that probably is of interest for players, that would be the players options, right? And that's what inspired us to start right away on level 3, because we wanted to have all options. It's also how nice it looks like that. You had the ancestries that you can have. Obojima mostly have humans, so you have the humans, data. What else you have? There you go. You have the elves, but this is a special type of elves, Nakudama, and that's pretty much it. You only have 4 ancestries from the world of Obojima. But what about the other ones that you have in D&D? Well, nobody stopped you from using those, and they actually provide information on how to be able to use those, right? This was classes specifically for Obojima. For most of the classes that you have, you're gonna notice that you have the barbarian, bard, the druid, fighter, monk, the paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, warlock, and the wizard. And you notice that they're not clerics. And the reason they're not clerics is because you have no gods in Obojima as a setting. And you have a lot of wonderful information for your character based on Obojima. List of equipment, of course, adventure gear, feats. You have new feats for specifically for Obojima, if you like to implement those. Only a few skills and a new condition. Magic items. Every one of them have been nicely illustrated, so you have an idea what it is. Spells. You have the new spells specific to Obojima, and spells that have been omitted from Obojima, because in Obojima there are things you cannot do with magic that is specifically counter to the whole Obojima team. Potion brewing. Look at that. We're in the middle of the book already, and this potion brewing is gonna take a big portion. And this is only the ingredients, and the ingredients are basically organized between common, uncommon, and I think rare. And then your potions that you can create by combining the ingredients. You have played Legends of Zelda, you know what you can do with some recipes that you get and combine some ingredients. It's the same thing in here. And then pins and folds, and yes, every now and then you get a nice picture that represent the monster that they're talking about, and then original monster to Obojima, and it's mostly spirit oriented. So this is the adventure, the Curse World Within, and I actually played this as part of my group, and also as a solo player, which is a bad idea because it's intended from 2 to 4 players, second level. And I actually recommend to do exactly that. It's very well presented. This is just a shot to what you can actually expect, and it's already blue. It means anything else you cannot see as a player, but it does have nice maps of the area, and it had activities or information. It's well documented, and it has the information that you need right away as well. Like these are the monsters that you're gonna find here. These are at the end of this specific session, so you have an idea when they are calling here. You can actually access it right away. That's pretty nice, and it was a pretty nice adventure, which became a tie-in for the next adventure. Anyway, so the positive of this book, well, I cannot stop saying the positive of this book, so I'd rather talk about the negative. There are only a few. From the point of view of a game master, the locations that give you the sense right away where you're going to find in the area. The only problem, there is no map of the village, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because then I get to create my own village, my own Matango village, and I just did that. Also, the other problem you see at the end of the book, you only have thank you. I appreciate it, but there is no an index words that would get you to something inside the book, which you actually have in the D&D Player's Handbook. So that's the only two negatives I can actually find in the book per se. I really like this setting of Obojima, and as I mentioned prior, it feels just like you're entering a world similar to Ghibli or Legend of Zelda game. If I never ever play a game using the source book, I want to know about the mysterious land of Obojima, and you get a little bit. You don't get everything. They left something for later. And also I wanted to have a lot of pictures, and I do have a lot of pictures in here. Oh, it's just wonderful. So this is just a quick review of the hardcover book. Thank you for watching. Take care. On to the next one. Bye.